Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. I told you today's 20th anniversary would give you a comfort blanket and make you feel good. So hopefully you stuck around if you're having a rough day or you just, not looking forward to anything really that awesome. You want to look back on something for a change. And this is something that we just explained why we're doing this, because 2004 can't be 20 years ago. It can't be. And I know COVID caused a lot of this, a couple years lost there, but just still the time, I don't know, we're in a warp. So here we go. About to feel good? Are you ready?
Yes.
Because 20 years ago today, this debuted. You got it? Entourage. The first episode of Entourage debuted. Now, Kenzie is clearly probably sick of references that I make and Case makes about Entourage.
I love Entourage.
I know you love it, but you don't want to hear me make references all the time.
Well, you talk about it like it's new, which I find odd. Did you see what happened? And no, yes, honey, we saw it.
Well, the interesting thing about Entourage, remembering that I missed the first season, and then I was working at Q101 and got this promotion where they said, they want you to talk about the second season of Entourage.
Oh,
and I go, oh.
Cool. Are these 45-minute commercials that you were voicing?
Oh, Kenzie, if you only knew how long I made these. But I didn't know the show at the time.
Oh.
I'd heard of it, but I didn't watch it. I was in my running and gunning days. I was going out every night, partying. I wasn't watching TV then that much. Mm-hmm. So then they gave me the DVD of the first season. They go, well, watch this, catch up, and then you can talk about it on the air. I sat there and watched that whole DVD in one night, and I said, my life's different now.
I know. I have all these new friends now. I have Vinny, and I have E, and I have Drama, and I have Turtle, and I have Ari, and I have Lloyd. I have all these new friends.
Do you think the next day he was like, it's classic Turtle?
Yeah.
like the very next day.
I walked into work next day to Q101. I was sludge back then. I went I am Queens Boulevard.
Yeah. Period.
I was, and then the second season was starting, and back then they didn't drop them all in a row. So I had to watch it weekly, every Sunday for just 20 minutes. The episodes were so short.
How crappy he started talking to his producer after watching Ari.
Oh, poor guy.
Why don't you just bend over like he did? It's like, whoa, just answering phones for you. Settle down.
Yeah, he's out of the business these days. Not producer, doctor. Sorry, he's gone.
Am I your Lloyd now?
I can't even say anything about that because watching the show, watching what they said on the show, what Ari Gold and, of course, Jeremy Piven, great Chicagoan in the show. But that show just changed the perspective. It was so fun. And when you watch it now, you get transcended back there and realize how fun and just life can be if you're
a famous movie star.
No, well, yeah. Everybody back then was always
rich.
Well, everybody always said that back then. That's my crew. This is he's my Turtle and he's my Johnny Drama. Everybody had an entourage back then when that show came out.
So for me, I watched this much later in life. I wanted to watch it when I was young, and I used to steal episodes online, but my mom found out. I was like, you're not allowed to watch the show. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So stop doing that. And then I started stealing Jersey Shore episodes online.
Natural pivot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, I want to have fun, and I'm not allowed to, so I'm going to watch other people have fun, is what I was trying to do in my childhood. So anyways, I actually watched this show during COVID.
Oh, you
with my
rewatched
husband.
it.
So I had never seen it before. I watched it during COVID.
That's the first time you saw it.
Yes,
all the way
it's
through.
full. I saw a few episodes that I illegally stole, and then I got grounded, and then this is the first time I got to watch it because my husband owns every season on DVD.
As he should.
So we whipped that out because we had time.
I hope you have that insured, by the way.
Yeah. And by the way, what a weird time to watch a show where everyone's having so much fun and you're not even allowed to go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Very odd dynamic, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, and my husband was so excited. It was his third time watching it. He's like, I can't believe you want to watch Entourage. He was all amped. And my husband has curly, dark hair. So all I had to hear after every episode is how much he related to Vinny and how everybody's calling him Vinny Chase. It was like my nickname. I really felt like Vinny. And the funny thing is every time there's a cool character in any movie, I have to hear about how my husband feels like he relates to him. I felt like Will Smith in The Fresh Prince. I'm like, based on what part of your life?
Yeah.
I want to know. And so he's always like, oh, I felt like Vinny because of curly hair.
But he's not.
Every guy felt like a character, 1,000%.
Every crew of guys go out like, yeah, he's our Johnny Drama. And
oh, yeah.
It was for years like that. And I'm telling you, waiting a week to watch that show on Sunday nights was torture.
Okay, can we both name who Case is on the count of 3 at the same time and see if we pick the same person?
1, 2, 3. E.
Ah! I knew it.
That's fine with me. I watched the whole show thinking I'm E because I watched it for the first time last year.
For the first time ever. So I've actually binged it about 7 times now,
So
over the last 20 years.
I watched it for the first time last year. I should note, I just finished watching it for a second time because I love it so much. But going in, the first time I watched it, I kind of turned it on to make fun of it because my perception of it was a total bro show and women weren't treated great in the show and whatever. And I was going to watch it to make fun of it. And through one episode, I was like, oh no, this is actually the most charming show I've ever seen. As somebody who doesn't have a ton of male friends, because most of my friends are either women in their 20s or men in their 40s, I watched this show and I was like, oh my God, this is the friend group that I've never had. Like, I have friends, I have great people in my life, but I've never had this. And the bond of friendship in this show is so sweet and so endearing. It's become one of my favorite things that I've ever watched anywhere ever.
It also changed those shows, by the way. So you had like Sopranos out at that time, of course, but it changed the shows where everybody copied the Entourage template. For example, Silicon Valley was Nerd Entourage.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but did you ever see Silicon Valley?
Kind of. Parts of, like here and there, like on TV.
Because it was an entourage of guys that were building, obviously tech stuff.
Yeah, I love that show.
And-
I've never thought of it like that before.
And then a little bit later than that, Ballers came out with The Rock. That
I
was
liked Ballers.
That was sports entourage. Because the crew of people, they all filled the characters of it, including Denzel Washington's son was one of those guys in that show. Everything became, for that period, like that.
Now, it's interesting you said that because I always said that Entourage was stolen from women because I think Entourage is the male version of Sex and the City.
That's fair.
That's kind of, I'll take that.
Best friends,
Yeah.
going out, living the best life, and then all of a sudden the guys have a version of that.
Yeah, 'cause that show came-
theirs is almost better, and it sucks, but they did a really good job with it.
Because Sex and the City
Very
came out like in the late 90s?
It's
Something
an
like
older
that.
show,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely older. Well, let's go back and relive some of Entourage on its 20th anniversary of starting. Here's Ari when he's in the therapy sessions, which were some of the best scenes ever. Case, you bleeped all this, right?
I did bleep all this. I had to check it like 7 times, but I got it all.
And also because Ari's wife was Will Ferrell's wife in Old School.
So think about how many legendary therapy scenes she's been in.
Yeah, she was.
That's a really good point.
Exactly.
She's been in a lot of therapy.
Here we go.
So do you feel depressed, Ari?
Depressed? No. Irritated? Yes.
He hasn't had a full meal in a week. And he slept past 7 o'clock again this morning. I haven't seen him sleep past 5:30 since 1993.
So do you think losing this Vincent Chase is really the problem, Ari?
No.
Yes.
What do you think the problem is then?
I don't think there is a problem.
Ask him why I didn't go to the Lakers game last night.
I don't think that Vincent Chase should determine where you go and don't go in this town.
He doesn't determine.
He's been in a funk since he got fired.
Everybody stop. I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate, how to answer a question without a question. Basic Humanity 101, which I thought, given your wall of diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix it or make her a mute. But now, to turn around and gang up on me, I have work to do. I have hundreds of clients to deal with. And just so we're clear, I don't care about any of them. They're all just a number, like wife number 1 and therapist number 7. Good day.
You're really only our 5th.
Oh my God. Jeremy Piven, obviously, he won awards.
Incredible.
I mean, because I don't think they planned on him being the star as much as it was. I mean, obviously, Johnny Drama and Ari Gold became the real, true, hilarious moments of the show.
Yeah, I tried really hard this morning to find like a singular Johnny Drama line that we could play on the show, and none of them really fit with what we do here.
Can I be honest? Because every line is just him complaining after somebody else does something, so it's very hard to isolate a moment.
Well, you didn't find one, right?
Yeah, this is a scene where they're meeting with their financial advisor. Vinny at this point is going through some financial struggles, so we get to hear from Vinny, Turtle, and at the very end, Johnny Drama.
No, things are bad, Marvin.
Bad was last year. Things are
disastrous now.
Marvin, I've been broke before.
You're not broke. You're bankrupt. You gotta file Chapter 11.
I'm not filing Chapter 11.
You gotta wipe the slate clean and start all over again. And this time on a budget and without dependents.
Should I just get an appetizer?
You should go on a hunger strike. This is no time to be proud.
Marvin, my father filed bankruptcy, left my mother with nothing, not even child support. So call pride whatever you want. I'm not going to do it.
You're a better man than me, bro. I filed 3 times. Maybe that's why I'm alone.
Maybe it's because you're ugly.
Maybe you're alone because you're ugly.
Oh, God. That's great. Oh, well. So the 20th anniversary of Entourage. Go binge it tonight. Go do it.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, of course, with all the stuff going on the rest of the year. When we look into August leading to September, Riot Fest with Q101 and having Riot Mike on, I think it was about a month and a half ago, of announcing the new Riot Land. Everything new, exciting, and fascinating with Riot Fest, as every year, the best festival without question in the country. You can see all the ones that, go around and have the same bands at them, and that's fine. They're usually big bands. I'm not, crapping on other festivals, and Lollapalooza, of course, we love that too here in Chicago, but Riot Fest is unique. There's nothing like it anywhere on earth, without question. So yesterday, we already knew the bands, but they gave us the lineup of the days of Riot Fest, like who's playing what day. So we'll rip through them here for you and enjoy. Kenzie, why don't you start with the first day, Friday?
I know, hands down, Friday is just Kenzie's day. That's what we're going to title it next year. I'm so amped about this. Probably like I said, the best concert I ever saw was Fall Out Boy. They're obviously the headliner Friday. Off the bat, incredible. Then you have The Offspring performing Smash, which is super dope. I'm very excited to see that.
So excited to see. That was my wife's second CD she ever bought in her life. Dookie was first and
Yes.
Smash was second.
Well, then this is really her day. So
That's
that'd be awesome.
you guys can hang out.
Yes. Okay. Public Enemy. Really excited because, of course, Flavor Flav is going to be there. Sometimes Public Enemy performs without Flavor Flav. But get ready. You're going to see a big old clock on that stage, and I am amped about it. The Marley Brothers performing Bob Marley music. Now, such a vibe, right? This is going to be something really, really cool. And what I'm very excited about is because what I envision is them being on the beach stages, because there's going to be a beach that's created.
Yeah.
And can you imagine sitting on a beach with a drink, listening to Bob Marley music performed by the Marley Brothers?
And also when you're in the middle of all that kind of, the maybe it's a faster, harder, whatever, and then you got, of course, the legendary hip-hop Public Enemy, then you just to chill in the middle for a little while.
Cypress Hill.
Hell yes.
Listen, when this came out, I'm like, I need Fall Out Boy and Cypress Hill to be on the same day, and it happened. I don't know what good juju occurred, but I could not be more excited than this. I just need to make sure that they're all at different times. That's my only number one concern right now. I cannot wait to see Cypress Hill. I've never seen them live.
Really?
Ever.
Oh, they're so good.
And I am so enthused about this. And of course, just like all the days, we're going to have that No FX, which they're on their final farewell.
Correct.
This is like the last time you can see them. That's happening each day, so that's something that you're going to want to see. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the NoFX area is actually going to be in the circus area, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, they're performing every day.
Yes.
And also Sum 41 that day in their final 5-year goodbye.
Yeah, it's their final Chicago show, allegedly.
I'm not buying into that right now. I'm excited to see them, but I'm not going to co-sign that currently.
Of all things to have a conspiracy theory about, that Sum 41 is not breaking up. All right, so let's move on to Saturday with Riot Fest and what you can expect there. Case, why don't you do Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday you've got Beck and Pavement headlining. It's a big deal because Beck hasn't played Riot Fest since 2018, and Pavement has never played Riot Fest because, they were obviously a huge staple in the 90s. They played some of the original Lollapaloozas when it was a touring festival, but they haven't been an active band for the most part for the last decade, so getting them at Riot Fest is such a huge deal. Brian Phillips plays them a lot on Sundays for History of Alternative. Also, St. Vincent, Bright Eyes, Manchester Orchestra, all of those bands are there. Taking Back Sunday is playing Saturday, not Sunday. And then even, all the way down the line, you've got Beach Bunny and Sincere Engineer, your Chicago locals there. You've got great smaller bands like Drug Church and Heart Attack Man, who I would highly, highly recommend. And and I think I can say their name on the radio. The Buzzcocks are playing on Saturday.
You can?
I didn't know they were still alive, and I have to admit, I am over the moon excited about seeing them on Saturday. That day is for me. I cannot wait.
And I will tell you, I'll add one in there for you because it's a band that has a very small but loyal, maybe more than any band I've seen, is Clutch is playing on Saturday.
Clutch is playing. We really just should have listed every band. I forgot to mention the Hives are playing on Saturday.
Oh my God.
I love the Hives.
Yeah.
Can I throw one in really quick for your
Kenzie,
Saturday?
by all means.
Waxahachie. Now, if you see this name and you don't know how to say it, I understand. It's Waxahachie. Very vibey female. Would you go almost Noah Khan energy case?
Yeah,
like the female Noah Khan?
It's classic alt country. She put out one of the best records of this year called Tiger's Blood. If Riot Fest is becoming overwhelming and you need a breather, find the stage she's on. Waxahachie is excellent. Really, really excited she's there.
And you may find yourself in the process. It's a beautiful show.
Well, listen, as we're doing all this with Riot Fest and the days have broken down in the last 24 hours, and by the way, it's in Bridgeview. It will not be in Douglas Park now. With shuttles going there, all the information at Q101.com and plenty on our socials to keep you updated with our great partners, Riot Fest. So I'm not saying that Sunday is just for me because I will be there every day and every minute, to be honest. This is amazing. But Sunday, we already announced a long time ago that Slayer will be there, and they have, ceased as a band. This is their only performance. They are not turning this into some kind of, we're back and we're going to tour and do all these shows. This is the only performance of Slayer. So Midwest focal point of a lot of people flying in, the hard people, we'll say, the metalheads, if you want.
The hardos, as you said yesterday during the fact that makes your brain
like
go boom.
My dad?
Yep, Kenzie's
The
dad's...
hardos like my dad, as Brian said yesterday.
Kenzie's dad will be in the pit, shaking everybody's hand and breaking their fingers during Slayer. But you also get Rob Zombie, who I always think of Ozfest when I think of Rob Zombie. Haven't seen him in a long time. Excited about that. Then you get Sublime, talking about needing a little bit of a break from some of the hardos. Sublime with, of course, Bradley Noel's son took over, Jacob Noel, who I saw play here at the Park West back in January. Unbelievable. Case, that's the first Sublime performance in Chicago, too, with Jacob Noel with the new lineup.
Yes.
Unbelievable. So that's there. Oliver Tree, great friend of the station, if you will. He's kind of been in here a bunch of times. Something Corporate. Then you get, again, these kind of classic-ish metal bands, I would have to say. A Lamb of God always puts on a show, and so does Mastodon. I cannot believe it. They're also performing Leviathan, so they're doing an album play too. Mastodon is. And then, listen, Suicidal Tendencies is playing on Sunday, and Case has been... I got in a weird Suicidal Tendencies track. First off, I've been a fan of this band since I was a little kid because they transcended me hearing Institutionalized. I can remember as a kid to what it must be like to not grow up in the suburbs. And that's what I got from that band.
OMG.
I started wearing a blue bandana and buttoning my flannel at the top only, and my mom said, "What the hell happened to you?"
You love Suicidal Tendencies for the same reason I love Boys in the Hood. I'm like, well, what if that was me instead? Instead of my parents loving me and living this good, cushy suburban lifestyle.
With horses.
Yeah, music can be really weird, transcending, especially when you're young, like 12 or 10 years old. It takes you a place you never thought you could go. You saw this world, and that's what Suicidal Tendencies did to me when I was young. So I can't wait for that. Also, you've got Fiddlehead, a band that Case has introduced me to.
One of my absolute favorites.
Love them. And so, yeah, I mean, this is all this at Q101.com and all of our socials, but cannot wait. Laura Jane Grace playing on Sunday as well.
And she's doing an Operation Ivy set. So she's only playing Operation Ivy songs. For those that don't know, if there was no Operation Ivy, there would be no Green Day, there would be no Sublime, there would be no Doubt. The holy grail of Riot Fest reunions, the one that people want every year, is Operation Ivy. They've never been able to get them to reunite. They haven't played a show in 35 years at this point.
Yeah.
Like Operation Impossible.
Well said, Kenzie. But Laura Jane Grace will carry on their spirit that weekend doing a full-on Operation Ivy set.
And I want to make clear what Kenzie started with Friday with NoFX, the final farewell. So they're playing every night. So Sunday will be the final night of their performance. And I love that band. I love them so much. And I can't wait to see that final show. So there it is for you. The lineup of Riot Fest, at least by the days. We'll have more as we come along here, but it's going to be epic. I got to say, I can't imagine not being there every minute all 3 days. And for me, that's like the first time in a little bit. I always have to need a breather. I can take off a few hours here. Not this time. Not with Riot Fest this year at SeatGeek Stadium in Bridgeview for the first time ever. All the information at Q101.com.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, Pearl Jam, Wrigley Field, about a month and a half away. I cannot wait for that. So, takeaways from you guys right now today, 312-591-8200 from today's show. Something memorable. Case, what do you got?
Joe in Downers Grove checked in his takeaway from today. Brian uses Fandango to do his grocery shopping.
We got to get the points.
Yeah, I know. You can stock up on Twizzlers.
Well, you get enough points, you get about, 7 meals out of that.
And when you think about it, Twizzlers are basically fruit.
Oh, yeah, it's in the fruit family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Kenzie's going, no, it's not.
This is why you have the body of a Greek god, Brian.
I'm sorry, what are the flavors? Strawberry, cherry, banana? Oh, I don't know. Sounds like fruit to me.
There's banana Twizzlers?
Yeah, it's a combo. It's awesome. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
I don't eat banana Twizzlers. I don't like bananas. I don't like banana Twizzlers.
Yeah, nothing banana in your mouth.
Never.
Not that shape.
Nothing. Nope. Kenzie, what do you got?
Marshall, takeaway. Case can't comprehend waiting in line to see a movie, but that's only because he had no friends to go with. So mean.
What? God, that was a dagger. Wow. Unnecessary.
That was good, Marshall. That was really good. I'm going to think about that later.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Sorry.
Finally, Patrick checked in from 847. Takeaway. Kenzie, almost proud of Brian.
Oh, so close.
Just right there. One moment I thought I could get her, but it didn't happen.
Well, and then Case told the truth after you lied for 20 minutes.
I want someone to be proud of me. What's on the podcast, Case?
Well, we had an amazing discussion today on the weird places you can find food. It led to me issuing a public apology. That apology is on Q101 social media if you want to check that out.
That apology starts off so terrifying that it's reached the high levels of our corporation already, thinking that you said something really wrong.
Well, ABC7 reached out to Kenzie about it. That is true. They were like, wait, what happened on the show? And then they read the rest of the press release.
Oh, yeah. I almost stopped getting hired because they thought something horrible happened.
Please check it out on our socials right now on Facebook, Instagram.
That's right. Absolutely. A great game of Clash with Kenzie today. She almost crushed an entire family's dreams in Clash with Kenzie today. All that, much more on the podcast. Great stuff on Brian and Kenzie podcast.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.